Hello and welcome to the first episode of PremierLigaTV. Here we'll be analysing all the tactical aspects of matches and transfers and any other news which comes out of the top flights in England and Spain. Today we're having a look at the transfer of Joel Campbell, who has sealed himself a loan move from Arsenal in the Premier League to Villarreal in La Liga. We'll be having a look at who the move benefits most and whether he'll be a success in Spain. So, for anybody who's not a fan of watching Arsenal's under-21 developmental side or the Greek domestic league, what can we expect from Joel Campbell? The 22-year-old forward was on loan at Olympiacos last season and he impressed, especially in the Champions League when he came up against Manchester United and gained a lot of headlines for his good performance alongside Alejandro Dominguez. He also had a good World Cup with Costa Rica, where they progressed to the knockout stages, ahead of the likes of Italy and England. After he came back to Arsenal in the summer, Arsene Wenger did say that he was going to get the opportunity to try and work his way into the first team at Arsenal, but it hasn't really happened for him. The deadline day signing of Danny Welbeck put paid to any minutes that he might have got there, and even though the likes of Lucas Podolski and Yaya Sonogo have departed the Gunners during January, it's just not going to happen for Joel Campbell. He's a quick striker, very hard-working, likes to dribble with the ball at his feet and cut in when he's playing on the flanks. He can either play through the middle as a 2 up front, or else play from the right-hand side in particular. Why is he moving on? It's just not going to happen for him now at Arsenal. He's got a loan spell until the end of the season and he said he hopes to do the fans proud, but I think everybody probably knows at this point it's not going to happen for him at Arsenal. He needs to move on to somewhere else in the summer. He's only totaled 39 minutes in the Premier League this season, coming from 4 substitute appearances, and he hasn't managed to have a single shot in all that time. He's played slightly more in the Champions League, totaling just over 100 minutes. It's still not enough though. At 22 years of age, he needs to be playing regularly, and the move to Villarreal will hopefully give him that. So, moving back to Spain, where he has played before with Real Betis, where is Joel going to fit in at Villarreal? The Yellow Submarine, as they're known, tend to play with a 4-4-2 system. 2 out-and-out centre-forwards who will play off each other, they'll drop in one into midfield when they don't have the ball, and a flat 4 in midfield. Quite compact when they're out of possession, but technical, fast-paced and always looking to attack when Villarreal have the ball. They're a very good side in terms of offensive play, quick transitions, working hard off the ball and trying to attack as much as they possibly can, and this season they're doing well, challenging for a top 4 spot, currently sitting in 6th place. In terms of who Joel is going to be up against to get game time, you're looking really at the right side of midfield or one of the 2 spots up front. On the left, Villarreal tend to play Denis Cheryshev. He's on loan from Real Madrid, he's in the form of his life and he's having a major impact in La Liga this season. There's not really much opportunity for Joel to play on the left-hand side, and even if he was going to, it's not really his optimal position anyway. He might provide cover there, but he doesn't have to worry about challenging for that spot too much. On the other side of midfield is a different matter. Jonathan Dos Santos came in from Barcelona to Villarreal during the summer, and he's been playing kind of a playmaker role from that side. He's not particularly quick, he's not excelling just yet, but he is gradually working his way to prominence. He's certainly got a starting role more often than not at this point, and that's not too bad considering he's playing ahead of Moy Gomez, a very talented young attacking midfielder who can play all the way across the attacking midfield line for Villarreal. Up front, Luciano Vieto has had a big impact this season. He's scoring a few goals. He's got a lot to learn, but he's a very quality young striker. Alongside him, Giovanni Dos Santos, the brother of Jonathan Dos Santos, hasn't really had the big impact as was expected of him this season. He's been in and out of the side, along with Ikechukwu Uche, the Nigerian forward. Uche has a lot of pace, he knows where the goal is, but it hasn't quite had that consistency to his game this season. You would think that Joel Campbell is going to have to be battling against one of those two for one spot alongside Luciano Vieto. If not, he could certainly be used as an impact substitute, especially in games when Villarreal need to come from behind. His pace and direct running coming from the right-hand side is another option which the manager is going to have to utilise, looking for him to cut inside and add another threat in the final third. So, we've got Villarreal, we've got Joel Campbell. Are they going to come together and make this a good transfer? It depends a little bit how he's going to be used. If they're expecting him to come into the starting lineup and either partner Vieto or take his place for a little while and score the goals which is going to fire them into the top 4, they're probably going to be disappointed. He's a capable player, but he's never really shown that consistency, especially in front of goal. This early in his career, he's not really the one who's going to make the big difference for them. However, he is going to offer them a lot of opportunities to change things around in the final third. He gives them good option from the bench, and it gives more depth to the squad overall. As well as Gabriel Paulista, the centre-back who's going to Arsenal as part of this deal on a permanent move, Villarreal have also lost Cani this January transfer window, who's gone to Atletico Madrid on loan. Cani used to play either side of the midfield as well, so again, Joel Campbell is going to offer a bit more depth there, he's going to fill a need, and There's also the fact that in games when Villarreal want to change things around a little bit, they've got Denis Cheryshev, who's very direct, goes for goal straight away, who likes to drive into the penalty area. If they want to put Joel on that side and have the same sort of impact on both flanks, it can stretch the opposition team, it can leave spaces through the middle for the likes of Manu Trigueros to burst through as well. It's going to be difficult for Joel to get game time initially, but if he can have an impact off the bench, a little bit like Fernando Torres has had to do for Atletico over the last few weeks, then he could make this a positive move for him and possibly even turn it into a permanent transfer in the summer. We'll finish up each of our transfer analyses with a little bit of a prediction. So for Joel Campbell over the remainder of the season, we're not expecting him to pull up too many trees or even get a regular starting spot between now and the end of the season, unless Villarreal suffer a lot with injuries in attack. However, he probably can have enough of an impact, especially as a substitute, to get himself 3 or 4 goals. And if one of those come in a match which turns a draw into a victory, and he gets them an extra couple of points which pushes them into the top 4 by the end of the season, it's a deal where Villarreal win big time, and Joel could get himself a permanent move on the back of that. Okay, so that's it for our first transfer analysis. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'd appreciate it very much, of course, if you share a video anywhere. You can also give us a follow on Twitter, at PremierLigaTV. You can also follow myself, at Carl Matchett. I will post the links again in the section below. Leave any comments, requests, anything you like here at all, and on Twitter as well if you want to message us. Thanks very much. See you next time.